Okay guys, I'd like to walk you through some of the basics of what I'm doing and what I refer to as my Ben Hogan style golf swing. I'm not Ben Hogan. I'm a 52-year-old guy who was a hack for over 20 years, and I'm swinging better than I ever could have imagined. So I'm swinging a Ben Hogan GS5 wood here. The first thing that I would point out is my stance. I think that people don't really put enough thought into their stance. And what you'll see is, you'll notice that my right knee is pointed in. That's kind of my governor, you could say. It just keeps me from, it keeps me inside my swing, so I don't kind of splay open. I want to get my right hip back and I want to torque into that leg, but it's a governor, you could say. So here's my Gs53 driver. This is 44.5 inches cut down, D2. Okay, I turned that over a little bit more than I want, but I gotta get loosened up here. That's kind of my miss that I gotta watch out for. What I'm really focusing on here in this practice session is I want my arms to come along for the ride. This is something that Hogan is known for. Here's the hip drill that my last video, it really kind of got pretty viral. I'm trying to make sure that my legs and lower body go before I fire my upper body. You could call this X factor, you could call it shoulder hip separation, but basically I don't want to start the downswing with my hands and arms. That's what my instinct always was. That's where I get excessive early extension. I'm trying to let the arms come along for the ride. Okay, so that's a nice little power fade there. Now, I'm not flexible enough to get massive hip-shoulder separation. I'm not flexible enough to get a lot of lateral side bend, so I'm not going to be as open as a lot of PGA Tour pros are. I just have to work with what I've got. And it's working pretty well. I mean, I'm really happy with the way I'm hitting the golf ball. The aesthetics of my golf swing, I'm pleased with that, but the aesthetics come from high functionality. When my swing wasn't very good, you could see I hit the ball very inconsistently, and my swing looked terrible. I pushed that one a little bit. But the basic gears in my golf swing are working very well for my physique. So I'm not very tall. I'm about the same height and build as Ben Hogan. Earlier in his career he was thinner, and I was too. But here I'm really trying to go with the flow. So I actually lost my balance going back a little bit. That's because I swung a little harder. But that swing right there, a reminder, these are limited flight golf balls. Okay, let's take a look at this driver swing down the line. First of all, what I want to do is focus on getting my weight into my right heel, and I want to straighten my right leg a little, driving my right hip behind me. This is how I initiate my turn. I want to keep the club outside of my hands on the way back and swing my left arm up across my chest. So we can go back here. I want to show you that right leg straightening. It's so funny what some people will say. They say, oh, your right leg isn't straightening like Hogan. Well, Hogan did not lock his leg out, but it did straighten a little bit. So I take the club up across my chest, and I do lift my lead heel slightly. I let my left knee roll in. So on the downswing, I want to feel my weight get down into the ground. And as I begin to pull the club around, I'm doing it with my legs, my hips, and my torso, my core. I'm not letting my arms get ahead of me. They're coming along for the ride, just like Mr. Hogan said in the famous shell lesson. I'm not gassing my arms at all. I'm leaving them up there. I'm leaving the club and hands behind me. Now here's that Shangri-La position that, I was so interested in when I began my swing evolution. Because I was a chopper, I pulled the club down over my shoulder. I wasn't a rotational swinger at all. But here I'm in a good position to deliver the club. I call this the Wheelhouse. It's from Shangri-La. That's this position that I call where the club is riding along the right forearm. And then it just delivers the hit down through the ball. I can't hold it. Okay? So I feel like I'm basically hitting it with a backhand with my left hand, and then I turn the corner. But the important thing for me is I'm not trying to force this. It's just happening. I still have a little early extension, but Jack Nicklaus had some early extension too. One of the hallmarks about my rotational swing nowadays that I didn't have before is you'll see the club exiting through my left shoulder like most professionals. When I had my chop swing, it came down steep over my right shoulder instead of around, and then it would go up between my left ear and my left shoulder. But there's a much lower exit there, bringing me up to a nice balanced finish. Now, once again, I'm not Ben Hogan. I'm just an old golfer who was trying to improve his golf swing. And I tried all the things that were out there on the web. I've searched high and low. I'll do anything to play better golf. But for me, after a lifetime of searching, I'm 52 years old, this is what I've come to. This is where it's led me. This is what I feel the most comfortable with. This is what works for me. And I highly recommend it. One of the biggest things is lifting the lead heel allows me to get a bigger turn. That gives me a longer swing. It gives me more time and space to be able to execute what I need to. I think that if you're young and super flexible, you can probably, do some other things that most of these PGA Tour pros do. But for my money, I don't think you can swing better than Ben Hogan and Sam Snead. I think that those are probably the two greatest swings ever. And Lee Trevino, I put him in there. So you can check everything out that I have. All of my instruction videos that take you through my entire swing evolution, from stance, the way I use my weight shift, everything at myswingevolution.com is available, individual videos, or you can get a subscription where you can get it all for just $9.95 a month. So I hope you hit them long and hit them straight. Hi, I'm Christo Garcia, the founder of My Swing Evolution. A few years back, I picked up Ben Hogan's 5 Lessons book because I wanted to improve my golf game. Well, my golfing dreams came true. Today I'm sponsored by the Ben Hogan Golf Company. I've shot under par many times, and I even had the chance to play Ben Hogan in a Golf Channel special. So in this series, I'm going to take you through the most important lessons that I learned from Ben Hogan's famous book.